Hey, welcome to my treadmill run. I was gonna go run around the lake after training, but I didn't figure it properly. Like I don't have the capacity to put my bag in my bike and leave it there. So I'm on the treadmill now, which sucks. And I'll try again tomorrow with running around the lake without bringing my bag with me to training. I'm mad. I'm in a bad mood. Not because I'm on the treadmill, that doesn't help, but I watched Iman Barlow's retirement video this morning, and I'm not sad about it, I'm mad. I'm like pissed off about this. I'm really angry. For people who don't know, there are people who don't know who Iman Barlow is. It's fucking crazy. Iman Barlow is a English fighter. She had her first fight when she was 4 years old. She grew up fighting. I think that in her retirement video she said she had like 120 fights by now. This is the thing, is she's been fighting her entire life. She's 30 years old now. 26 years she's been fighting. She started when she was 4 years old. She literally dedicated her entire life to fighting. And she is not a like anyone, anytime, anywhere kind of fighter, but as someone who has 281 fights, I can let you know from experience, if someone has the word 100 in their fight record, they're not fucking selective. Like, they're not picking people all over the place. Like, she's fought a lot of people, and she's fought in many, many different countries. And the thing that's incredible to me is that I've had to find my own fights, scrap my own fights, like pull everything together, because I don't have a gym behind me, I don't have a promoter, I don't have people who are like advocating for me. I've had to really do it myself. And so I've gotten a lot of fights, and I've had to work really, really hard in order to get them. She got 120 fights, not in Thailand. Like, she did this in Europe, in England. This is insane that she got that many fights. And yes, it's been 26 years that she's been doing it, but fighting that much outside of Thailand, I'm able to do what I've done because I live in Thailand, where the opportunity for fights is often, and it slows down and it changes and it becomes harder and all these different types of things. To do that outside of Thailand, she doesn't need to show you her fucking membership card. Like, Iman is incredible that she's done this, and her whole family is fighters. And I'm mad because the reason she's retiring is not because at 30 years old, Iman should fucking be retiring, or she wants to retire. If she wanted to retire, that's fine. Like, great, I'm happy for you. She doesn't want to retire. She's not done with everything. After fighting for 26 years, she's not like over it. She still wants to be fighting. She's still looking for fights. 5 years ago, she got signed to one. She got a contract, and they signed her and like Anissa Mexen, and it was like, oh my God, they're picking up all these huge female names. Like, this is amazing. Women are going to have so many opportunities because women really aren't signed to huge promotions. There aren't huge promotions that put women on them in general. It's kind of like segregated. She had been on Infusion before, which is like kickboxing. So Anissa Mexen gets signed, Iman gets signed, and in those 5 years that Iman's been signed, she's fought twice. 2 times in 5 years. That is ludicrous. That is horrendous. That is horrible, horrible. Why sign someone if you don't want them to fight? I'm gonna use this word. I don't know if she's the first to use this word, but that's where I heard it, and I think it's a perfect phrase. Predatory contracts, where you sign someone and then you just put them on the burner. Like, there's absolutely no reason to do this. Iman is incredible. It's possible, and highly likely, that anytime someone says no to a fight on one, out of vindictiveness or whatever, they just get fucking sidelined. It's like, okay, you don't fight for us. There was this huge problem with Anissa because she was supposed to come fight this fight with Stamp, one of these mixed rules fights that they do. And she was understandably upset because she had not seen in her contract that it was a no result fight, meaning like it was going to be a draw either way. And so she was upset and walked away from it. And it was totally this like, okay, now you can't fight anywhere, you can't do anything, all this stuff, like horrible. There are rumors about why Pattaya doesn't fight anymore. But Iman basically asked to be released from her contract or to change her contract so that she could fight other places. Basically, she doesn't want to just be stuck in this situation where she can't fight, but she's contracted to a place where she can only fight for them, and they wouldn't release her, and so she's retired. She made this video to release herself from the pressure of training all the time because she's like, I want to be ready for a fight, and never getting a fight. This is what destroyed Diesel Noy too. Nobody would fight Diesel Noy. This is not a nobody will fight Iman situation. Iman would totally come fight Petchy Ja, who they're also like, we can't find opponents for. This would totally happen. This is not a problem. Similar weight. She would fight Stamp. It's not a problem. She would fight Alicia. Not a problem. But it's this thing where it's like, you're forced into a situation of stopping fighting. She's forced into retirement to release herself from the pressure of this. Diesel Noy was training and training and training all the time. He trains really hard. The Pattaya gym trained really hard. And he was not getting any fights. Like, he would wait a year, 17 months, and no fight. So finally he went to his manager and was like, I want to retire. And his manager was like, oh, no, you're going to come back and want to fight again. And Diesel Noy is like, if you let me retire, I will never, ever, ever come back and ask to fight again. I'm fucking done. I don't want to do this anymore. Because it's just so hard. I've been in this situation many times where like it's just very hard for me to get fights. And I train hard all the time. I don't have a like fight camp kind of thing. Like, I'm trying to get better all the time because I love Muay Thai. But it is hard. Like, right now, I am currently deciding to take 2 months of not fighting in order to let my shin heal, because it opened twice in my last 2 fights. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let that skin heal better. That's self-imposed. So that's me being like, I'm not gonna fight for 2 months. And already in my training, I'm like mentally struggling, being like, I don't have a fight coming up, and I'm doing all this hard work. And it's not like I don't want to do the work. It's that fighting is the freedom that is a relief. It's a reprieve. It's a moment to come up for fucking air when you're training that hard. And to have that be forced upon you, to have that be like taken away from you by some stupid fucking contract that you were like really excited to sign because you thought that you were finally going to be on the stage, you were finally going to get these opportunities, is horrible. Like, my heart is like breaking for Iman. And I understand why she made this decision. And I hope that she has other opportunities or other things to do. I think she's promoting now and stuff like that. But like, I'm a fighter. She is a fighter. Like, she has dedicated her entire life to fighting. And then she has to make decisions based on some stupid thing instead of based on what her values are, who she is. She said, actually, that this is not who I am. These are not my values, to just train all the time and not fight, to fight 2 times in 5 years. Obviously, that's not how Iman works if she's got 120 fights. It's soul crushing, and it's horrible. And I'm mad. Kevin's really mad. It's just so fucked up. Like, people should be really, really mad about this. People should be upset about this. And I don't know, I hope that people just kind of are not forced into contracts that they don't want to be in. I hope they look at them more closely. You know, like, a fighter is not going to take a fucking corporation to court over something. Like, how are you going to do that? Fighters are not wealthy people. Fighters are not people who have the power to do that. So you basically are just stuck into these contracts, which are written to take advantage of you. And you can actually see female fighters on this promotion who very clearly have decided they're just going to say yes to everything because of the consequences of saying no to anything. Wonder Girl has had like nothing but horrible matchups and like changes at the last minute and things that she did not sign on to, but she has to say yes to everything. She's like, sure, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then it's just like, you don't even get credit for saying yes to everything. You don't even get rewarded for saying yes to everything. You're treated like shit, even though you're the like person who's saying yes to everything. You don't get any kind of credit for it. It's really infuriating. So I wish everyone to really pay attention to what you're getting into. Kevin and I have very, very intentionally stayed away from powers. There's, you know, many, many benefits to having a gym behind you and having a promotion behind you and having people who are kind of carrying you or sponsoring you or kind of like building you. This is something that Skarbowski talked about when we interviewed him in our session for the Muay Thai library, where I was asking him why he never fought for the belt, and he's like, I don't want to have you have to have someone who like supports you, and I don't want to have someone who I'm like stuck to because they gave me this opportunity, and it's totally understandable. I have not had those things. I've not had a gym that would advocate for me. I've not had a gym fighting fights for me. I've not had anything. I've done something that's totally rogue, and it has tons of trade-offs that are really, really not great. I've been really frustrated for years at how I feel like I've built merit for myself, and I should be able to have kind of value in the system of like, oh look, Sylvie has, you know, done the grunt work, she's done the hard things, she has a name, we're gonna treat her like someone who has a name. And it's not like that. It's not meritocracy. Like, if you don't have powers behind you, an individual person is not power. If you don't have powers behind you, you get treated as someone who has no power behind you, and it feels like shit. Like, it actually feels painful. Like, it feels like you're not valued. And I know there are other female fighters who feel this way. I know there are other female fighters who are like, I've done the work, I have earned my merit, give me the fucking merit badge. And you don't get it. You don't get it here. And so I totally understand. And the trade-off is I have freedom. The trade-off is I can be like, yes, I'll take that fight, or no, I won't take that fight, or like, maybe not this time, or maybe next month, or something like that. Like, 281 fights, I'm also not fucking selective. I'm fighting everybody, but I'm not gonna fight on a promotion that doesn't fit with my values. I'm not gonna go into the entertainment Muay Thai that I'm not happy about. I'm gonna stick to the edges of the pool or whatever the thing is, because I have the power to do that. Whereas if I stuck myself into a situation where I actually did have someone else bolstering me and having power for me, and like, oh my god, I got to sign a contract where I get to make all this money, now you have to do whatever the thing is that they're telling you to do, and it might fucking suck. I'm sorry, I know I have young viewers. Sorry that I'm cussing so much, I'm actually really angry. So yeah, Iman, my heart goes out to you. She doesn't watch my stuff, but if any of you guys know Iman and you watch my stuff, let her know. I interviewed her like 11 years ago when she was 19 years old via Skype or something. She was just like doing her thing. I was starting to do my thing. Feel for you, Iman. And I hope you land not only on your feet, but fucking like flying. I hope it's really good.